trumpet tune, and then just go backwards. Once and then now, and trumpet tune, back and forth, and then you will not leave the track. Okay. Trumpet tune, I'm holding something. You write the prints, yeah? So you start. Trumpet tune starts. You just go back and forth. Okay. And you're looking very cute? No, yeah. Keep on going, and we'll start. Okay. One time. Really obvious? Yeah. Take it easy, just go ahead. Start? Yep.
We are gathered here once again in front of these wonderful old doors and columns to celebrate the graduation of Tuck's 114th class. Congratulations to the great Tuck class of 2014. Would all the family members and friends, all of the family members and friends, please stand? And please accept our appreciation for your support and love of our graduates. Welcome to the members of the Dartmouth trustees who are with us today. Emily Bakemeyer, Richard Kimball, Bill Hellman, Peggy Epstein-Tanner, and Sherry Oberg, and our incoming provost, Carolyn Deaver, and welcome to our faculty and staff. I want to offer a special congratulations to two faculty honored by our students as the most outstanding teachers in this academic year, Giovanni Gavetti and Chris Trimble. The Investiture program honors you, our 280 graduates, and in it you will hear from a distinguished alumna, from your class president, and your student speaker. You will see some of your colleagues awarded special recognition for their work. You will hear the immortal words of our initial benefactor, Edward Tuck, who gives wise counsel on maintaining ethics and standards in your careers. You will be greeted and congratulated by your faculty, your peers, and your friends and family. It is a joyous and nostalgic time. All of us who were privileged to work with you here hope that your past 2 years were productive and transformative, that our faculty and staff have provided you with superlative learning experiences, that you are leaving with hundreds of close colleagues who will remain in your circle, and that this experience has brought you closer to being the leader you want to be. I love the quotes that have stood the test of time. I read them I read the works from which they come, and although certainly not in their league, I sometimes make up my own. I have chosen a few for you today. Think of this one from Helen Keller. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. You got a huge lesson in that at Tuck. Many students and alums have said to me, you can never appreciate Tuck fully until you've experienced the community spirit for some time. You just have to live it. No matter what our recruiting materials say, you do have to live it and feel it in your heart. That's why living on this campus will always be a crucial part of a Tuck education. Another memorable quote is from the iconic CEO Jack Welch. He said, before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. At Tuck, you've learned a lot of things that will get you that first position, that will make you valuable to any organization you choose to join. And as Jack Welch says, early on, you have to be concerned with yourself, your preparation, your grades, your first job. Tuck is a pivot where you are between the self-absorption of early education and the responsibility of leadership. At Tuck, you get a taste of what it is to be a team player, to build a community, to share with others, to make others better, and that is what leadership is all about. Take concern for others and apply it always. And now from one of my favorites, most clever and insightful and funny authors, Oscar Wilde, who said, and this is not funny, but it's profound, to expect the unexpected shows a thoroughly modern intellect. Not even a Tuck education will allow you to perfectly predict the future. And as you go further out in time, those predictions become impossible. So success in the long run depends on how you react to the unexpected, the slings and the arrows and the opportunities that will inevitably come your way. What a Tuck education really prepares you for is to be nimble, to be flexible, and to get your team on board, to be prepared. So in the face of uncertainty, you won't be surprised. You won't be perturbed. You show confidence in your ability to respond, and that will give others courage in uncertain times. And finally, here comes one from me. Being offered more responsibility is the mark of leadership success. To be offered more responsibility, you have to be of superior preparation. You certainly have a fabulous start with the Tuck education, but you have to keep working on your basic skills and your attitudes. Be self-aware, be articulate, be up to date about your world. Know and empathize with the people around you. And as Edward Tuck's words echo through the ages, stick to your ethical standards no matter what. Thank you for your joining the Tuck community, and we all wish you the very best. Now I want to introduce our speaker, Sherry Oberg. Sherry Oberg, Dartmouth 82, Tuck 86, is president and CEO of Edu21.com, an education company focused on meeting the needs of the 21st century workplace. Previously, she was president, CEO, and co-founder of AccuSphere, a specialty pharmaceutical company with broad technology that generated drug candidates which entered human clinical trials. She was responsible for conceiving the strategy, the business plan, and the product concepts. She oversaw the development of a novel cardiovascular drug from prototype development through the final stages of human trials and commercial manufacturing scale-up. Regulatory applications are now on file for the approval of this drug in Europe and the U.S. She began her career in venture capital at Inco Venture Capital Management and later moved to Aegis venture funds. Sherry was a history major at Dartmouth and earned her MBA from Tuck. She currently serves on the Dartmouth Board of Trustees, where she is chairman of the Audit Committee. She's also a member of Tuck's Board of Overseers. Previously, she was on the advisory board of the Tuck Center for Private Equity and Entrepreneurship and was president of Dartmouth's Alumni Council. She's recipient of Dartmouth's Young Alumni Distinguished Service Award and the Tuck Overseers Medal. She has served on the board of directors of the Massachusetts Biotechnology Council, as well as the Massachusetts Medical Device Industry Council. She's married to Kurt Oberg at Dartmouth 78, and they have two children, Allie, Dartmouth 13, and Eric. Please welcome Sherry Oberg.
Thank you, Paul, for that kind introduction and for giving me the opportunity to be part of this wonderful celebration. Congratulations to all of you. Receiving a degree from this elite institution is an enormous accomplishment requiring hard work, long hours, and many sacrifices. Parents, for the last 2 years, you've probably been eating Kraft macaroni and cheese because this was all you could afford after writing the tuition check. Rest assured, you've given a gift that not only lays the foundation for a happy and successful life, but also has a quick financial ROI. Partners, you uprooted your lives and those of your children to move to Hanover to support your Tuck student on their journey. Little did you know that this journey would be to the canoe club for 3 martini recruiting dinners while you were left either alone or with screaming toddlers babysitting in Sachem. Tuck class of 2014, you've been through the closest thing to boot camp that exists outside the military. The intensity of fall A, late night study groups, team projects. Your analytical minds have been sharpened by demanding professors like Professor Argenti, who tortured you with his cold calls. You've carried on the great Tuck tradition. Work hard, play hard. Tripod hockey, NBA World Cup soccer, Tuck tails, and beer pong. Through it all, you've learned a lot about business and about yourselves. You've developed bonds of friendship that will last a lifetime and skills that will enable you to make the most of the many opportunities and challenges you'll face in your careers and your life. Today, I'll try to help you get ready for this new phase of your life by sharing with you 3 things I did not know when I graduated from Tuck, so you can begin to think about what to expect. I did not know how to take risk, how to fail, and I had no idea how important my Tuck relationships would be throughout my life. Let's start with how to take risk. Tuck did a fabulous job teaching me how to identify risk, how to manage risk, how to analyze risk. But actually taking risk must be learned outside the classroom. The most gut-wrenching risks are the ones you take when changing jobs to advance your career, because they're so personal. To help you develop a framework for thinking about your own career path, I'll share with you the thought process behind my earliest career decisions, since these were the closest to my Tuck graduation and therefore most relevant to you. My decision to become an entrepreneur was opportunistic, not planned. As a second year at Tuck, I led an event called Career Expo, a weekend of panel discussions with executives across a wide variety of industries. I lived off campus with 4 other Tuckies, 2 guys and 2 girls, over near the food co-op. I've never been a morning person, so I was running late and had to borrow my male roommate's car. As I was driving into campus, I saw one of the panelists walking to the event, so I pulled over and offered him a ride. At that moment, I was horrified to notice that my Tuck roommate had taken his car to a poker party the night before, and I had to literally get out of the car to haul an armful of beer cans out of the car and sweep peanuts off the seat so the panelists could even get inside the car. I was appalled, but the panelist was a Dartmouth alum, and he thought this was very funny. As we drove into campus together, he asked me what was I interested in doing after Tuck, and I told him healthcare. He asked me if I had ever thought about venture capital. I told him I didn't even know what venture capital was, so he invited me to his office to learn more about venture capital. A couple months later, after meeting him in New York, he took me out for a very late lunch at Harry's, a longtime establishment on Wall Street. We sat down in a booth, and there was a group at the bar that was so loud we could hardly hear each other. He said to me, "Who has time to be drinking at 2:30 in the afternoon?" At that very moment, the group at the bar yelled, "Sherry!" It was my Tuck friends who had been at a recruiting event at Merrill Lynch during their Christmas break and had gathered for a mini Tuck Tales afterwards. Once again, I was horrified. The venture capitalist was amused. Shortly afterwards, the venture capitalist gave me a job offer, which sounded very exciting. But this was the only venture capital firm I had interviewed with, so I quickly sent my resume around to a bunch of venture firms, hoping that interviewing in this space would help me figure out if venture capital was what I wanted to do, and if this was the firm I wanted to do it with. I got one ding letter after another. Not one firm would even take my call. So I decided this must be a pretty good job. I can't even get an interview. In those days, no one at Tuck knew anything about venture capital, but healthcare venture capital excited me because it was a business that literally saved lives, where you could do well by doing good. Also, I wasn't sure that an opportunity like this would ever come again, and in the worst case scenario, I could always go back and get a more traditional MBA job. 4 years into venture capital, I made an investment in a company which was started by the head of organ transplantation at Children's Hospital. His young patients were literally dying on the waiting list for a donor organ. So he invented a technology to grow a limitless supply of donor organs. When I returned from maternity leave with my first child, the company had all kinds of promise, but lots of problems. It was behind on its technical milestones, had no business plan, had fired its CEO, had a very unhappy investor group, and only 3 months of cash. It looked like everyone was going to lose their money, and I hated failure. Since I was the one responsible for getting my firm into this mess, I was determined to get them out of it. When I told the scientific founder that I was thinking about leaving venture capital to go run the company full-time to try to turn it around, he said, "You're crazy. The technology is sound, but this is the Titanic heading at high speed to the bottom of the ocean. It can't be turned around." But I felt the real problem was lack of business leadership. And as long as the technology was sound, it could be turned around. I saw a great opportunity to learn what it was like to be a CEO, and I knew these opportunities were rare because when a company was doing well, the venture capitalists hire a CEO with lots of experience, not a history major with an MBA with no experience. Also, the situation was so dire, no one would blame me if it failed, and I could go on and get another job. All worked out well. We changed the business strategy to focus on large market opportunities rather than scientifically interesting research projects, refocused the research plan on realistic milestones that we met, which gave new hope to the investor groups who put in some additional capital. We ended up selling the company for a price that made the investors very happy because they went from thinking they were going to lose all their money to making a very nice return on their investment. And I discovered that I loved being an entrepreneur even more than being a venture capitalist. And this time, I had CEO offers from many well-respected firms starting exciting new companies. So those were the risks I took. Both were opportunistic rather than planned. In both situations, the people around me thought I was crazy because I was taking a road less traveled, or because they imagined the downside risk to be really higher than it really was. In both cases, my career progressed much faster and further than it would have if I had stayed on the path that I was on. But most importantly, I was passionate about my career because I was doing well by doing good. You will have similar opportunities. Keep your eyes open for them and seize the ones that are right for you. Some risks aren't worth taking, especially when you're not willing to live with the consequences of failure. So how do you know if you're taking enough risk? One way is to look at how often you're failing. If you're not failing, you're not taking risk. And if you're not taking risk, You're not stretching yourself to move forward. Which brings me to the second thing I didn't know when I graduated from Tuck: how to fail. All of you got here because of your successes. You did well in high school, which got you into a great college, where you did well and got good jobs, where you also succeeded. Now that you're here, let's face it, you certainly did not spend $180,000 at Tuck to learn how to fail. When executives come to Tuck, we tell our stories based on our successes. My bio, for instance, lists a number of accomplishments and not a single failure. But I can tell you, for every success I've had, there have been many failures. I have become such an expert on failure. I teach a whole class at Tuck on failure. In that class, I talk for an hour and a half, nonstop, using only examples from my own career's failures. How many of you remember your Greek mythology and the story of Sisyphus? Over and over again, Sisyphus would push a boulder up the mountain only to have it roll back on himself over and over. For centuries, scholars have debated whether Sisyphus is a persistent and resilient hero or a stubborn fool. I have had so many failures in my career that my brother-in-law, who has heard all the stories of my ups and downs, has nicknamed me Sisyphus. But when I sat where you are almost 30 years ago, I didn't know much about failure. In fact, I thought failure was the opposite of success. No one at Tuck ever told me that Thomas Watson, the founder of IBM, said, "The way to succeed is to double your failure rate." As a result, I had to learn this the hard way. And when I was going through it, I really thought there was something wrong with me. So hopefully by sharing my story, I'll spare you this anxiety so that you'll know that failure is part of success and there's nothing wrong with you when you fail it. Today, I have time to tell you a story about only one of my failures. I chose this particular story because I was reminded of it last month when I was here for the Tuck Overseers meeting. A group of Tuck women came to talk to us about the Women's Initiative. They talked about their hesitancy to speak up in class and on the job, and it reminded me of my own hesitancy to speak up. I prided myself in thoroughness, preparedness, and diligence. I like to be right. So I was hesitant to speak up until I was confident that what I said would be right. Another way of saying this, I was afraid to be wrong. I was afraid of exposing my ignorance and making myself vulnerable. As a young entrepreneur in my 30s, I had no experience and no scientific background, and I was afraid I would miss something. So I worked extra hard to compensate. Our first business plan at AccuSphere came up with a big idea. Each year, 13 million people get a test for heart disease that exposes them to cancer-causing radiation at a dose equivalent to 800 chest x-rays. This test is so expensive, it costs the healthcare system billions of dollars. Our idea was to replace this expensive radioactive test with a new test that worked just as well at half the cost with no radiation by using a novel patented material. Based on this breakthrough technology, we raised our first round of venture capital, paid for the patent licenses, hired the perfect head of R&D to turn this idea into a product. The very first thing the new head of R&D told me was that it made absolutely no sense to use this novel patented material because it had never been used in humans, and as a result, FDA would insist on many long-term studies to prove safety. Instead, he suggested using materials that had already been used in humans as a strategy to accelerate approval. It was immediately clear to me that he was absolutely right and I had been absolutely wrong. My worst nightmare had come true. I had licensed patents that were worthless, we had no patent protection to cover the new idea, and we had raised venture capital under false pretenses. What could I do? I couldn't throw good money after bad by continuing to pursue a flawed idea, but changing the plan would require me to go back to the venture capitalists and admit I was wrong, which could damage my credibility and expose my weaknesses. I decided to own up to my mistake and fully expected to be fired for incompetence. I imagined the venture capitalists would think I made this mistake because I was a history major that doesn't know anything about technology, because I was young and inexperienced, because I was a woman who was spending too much time raising her kids instead of focusing on the company. All the fears that had driven me to spend so much time on the business plan in the first place were materializing, even though I had spent all this time in preparation. Much to my surprise, I got exactly the opposite reaction. The venture capitalists understood that this mistake helped us come up with a plan that they liked even better. As a result, they invested over time another $300 million in the new plan, and today our drug is the leader in its class, having bypassed competition from the largest companies in healthcare. The venture capitalist, Terry Maguire of Polaris Ventures, remains a lifelong friend and is here today. I've failed a lot, but I've learned a lot in the process. This failure helped the company move forward with a better plan and helped me move forward as a better business person. I needed to focus more on making progress quickly and less on fear of making a mistake. I now create the best plans I can, but I expect them to be wrong. And I know that the only way to find out what's wrong is to speak up so I can get feedback from others and learn quickly. While I was going through it, emotionally, I felt like Sisyphus, like I wasn't getting anywhere. But rationally, I knew we were taking 2 steps forward and only 1 step backwards, and that's progress. Even after lots of failures, each one is humiliating and painful. It's hard to pick yourself up and keep going. So how do you do that? Where does the resilience come from? Part of it comes from reminding yourself and your team that you're making progress. Thomas Edison said, "Many of life's failures are people who didn't know how close they were to success when they gave up." For me, resilience comes from mission and people. Our company's mission was so important and inspiring, giving up was not an option. Making money is important, but it's not inspiring enough for most people. Developing a drug that can save people's lives is a powerful motivator in good times and bad. Resilience also comes from deep relationships with people. Great teams who count on you to lead them through crisis, great mentors who believe in you and remind you to believe in yourself, and friends and family who help you keep perspective and give you strength to keep going. Which brings me to the third thing and final thing I didn't know when I graduated from Tuck: how important my Tuck relationships would be throughout my lifetime. I knew I had great friends, and I remember how sad I was at the thought of leaving them in this wonderful place. What I didn't know was that this was the beginning of a lifelong relationship with the broader Tuck and Dartmouth community, which has been the source of so many new friends, both personal and professional. On a personal level, it got really personal. My best friend at Tuck introduced me to his brother. He's now my husband. That's about as personal as it gets. His other brother also went to Tuck. He's the one who calls me Sisyphus. He's here today to celebrate with his son, your classmate, Jason Oberg, the 4th Oberg to become a Tuckie. On a professional level, every job I took involved help from a Dartmouth or Tuck person. When I founded AccuSphere, our first round of venture capital came from Terry Maguire, a Thayer alum. Our first animal studies were done by a radiologist who had gone to Dartmouth Medical School. And our business plan had been developed with the help of a consulting firm founded by 2 Dartmouth alums. At one point, we had so many Dartmouth and Tuck alums on our board of directors that one of our board members, who went to Princeton, called himself the minority recruit. So don't worry about leaving this wonderful place. It's now in your blood for a lifetime, and you'll be back. I'd like to close by saying Tuck has given you a great foundation to take this next important step in your careers. Strong analytical skills, wonderful friendships, a community of people who want to help you. Many opportunities will come your way, and I hope you will have the courage to seize the ones that are right for you. Take thoughtful risks that will push your companies and your careers forward. Focus your talents on businesses that make positive contributions to society. And remember that 2 steps forward and 1 step back is progress. And when failures inevitably come, Remember, failure is part of success. Winston Churchill once said, "Success is moving from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm." Great Tuck class of 2014. Good luck to all of you.
Thank you, Sherry, for those wonderful words. And now we want to present you with a little present, so you have to come back and take a picture. And now it's time to confer hoods on our MBA candidates. Associate Dean Stockin will read the names of the candidates. The chairman of our Board of Overseers, Chris Williams, will place the hoods over the candidates.
At this time, I'd like to call forward each MBA degree recipient to receive his or her Master Hood. After I call your name, please step forward, and the Chair of the Board of Overseers, Chris Williams, will drape the hood over your shoulders. Audience, there is no need to hold your applause until the end. Please feel free to applaud early and often. Christopher Dolan. Cassandra Cummins. Kanav Abral. Nuno Adam. Vincent Ahrens. Gary Ayalo. Samuel Alexander. Eduardo Alexander Marquez Padella. Rachel Mayer Amori. Brett Anderson. Carolyn Denise Anderson. Miguel Andreas. Sanjay Arora. Javier Asolda. Solomon Asfor. Ali Pachani. Samir Bahil. William S. Barden. Loreya Barturen. Nicola Bailey. Sarah Bell. Nicole Bertucci. Guillermo Bertu. Upsana Batea. Martin Bayeli with high distinction. Emily Elizabeth Block. Jason Matthew Bodwitz. Caroline Amalia Brezan. Sprague Brody with high distinction. John Emil Mongini Brunda with distinction. Kathleen Ann Buck. Brandon Bird. Paulo Machado Kesezi. Jessica Lynn Calhoun. Alejandro Caballales Bihar. Meredith Carmen. Amanda Carey. Clancy Cashoon with distinction. Michael Caspani. Dustin Cathcart. Salman Chand. Kyle Joshua Charters. Simon Chen. Rhea Susan Chen. Yukun Chen. Adriana Kadersh. Flavio Kolnagi. Jesse Ryan Colville. Thomas Cook. Brian Bradford Corey. Ellen Jacobson Corey with high distinction. Karen A. Cosgrove. Karen Crosby. John Curran. Tracy Denner. Ahmet Darwish. Emily Marley Davis. Benjamin Davis with distinction. Thankor Deb. Thierry Desembray. Mike Devine. Mark DeFoot. Philip Dale Dillon. Benjamin Lee Duell, with distinction. Dennis A. Dunnigan. Emily Jean Dunn. Debasarita Datta Gupta. Juan Pablo Urhoara. Hillary Engelhardt. Carlos Esteves Mendoza. Jared Wacheszewski. Brendan Keeley Fayette. Ayabodi Fajobi Jr. Kitfu Jeffrey Fang. Joshua Fang. Hillary Hoffman Farrow. Lisa S. Flores. Anna Cordoville, with distinction. Robert Gallagher, with distinction. Solomon Gamiro. Juan David Garcia. Joshua Michael Gardner. Maureen Teresa Gardner. Carrie Gee. Roy Peter Gibbs. Basil Gysi. Stannis Giovanni. Jessica Drake Glaser. Cedric Gomes. Chris Gomsak. Evgeny Gonkin. Charlene Gonzalez. Eglaim Gonzalez Martinez. Tomoko Gotu, with distinction. Andrew Michael Zemet Graham. Tyler Yule Grant. Kapil Gupta. Mohanan Gupta. Peter Hagstrom. Benjamin Hall. Matthew Merrill Hansen. Taylor Page Harrington. Elena Harrison. Joshua Taylor Hawkins. Tito Hill. Caitlin Hodge. Eric S. Hoffman. Zachariah Lee Hogan. Jacob Hopi. Juliet Horton. Ashley Hovey. Herman Sue with high distinction. Tyler T. Hull. Catherine Hunter. Sarah Jane Irvin. Hishihiro Iwakami. Peter Jacobson. Hangso June. Jessica G. Chris Xiaokun Jia. Harrison Khan. Alexandra Kaplan. Manyank Kapoor. Michael Casper. Uman Kudir. Scott Russell Keenan. Rashmi K. Alexis Christine Kerr. Jack Kiley. Pamela Kimball. John Joshua Kirk. John Neeland. Adam Lawrence Kramer. Neil Kumar. Sumita Kumar. Catherine Brooks Lawrence. Vivian Lee. Difu Lee. Dana Rumei Lee. Violet Yuching Lee. John Jong Yung Im. Alice Lin. Frank Litzler. Kara Ludigiani. Megan Lodelo. Douglas Micah London. Nicola Lopez. Alejandro Lorenzo Ruas. Luke Marsdorp. Sarah Margaret Malcolm. Avanti Malusta. Maggie Miranda, with high distinction. Francesco Marino. Gabriel J. Martinez. Nashley Peter Masarinas. Merrill Matthews III. Ryan McDonald. Erin McInerney. Brian McKenzie with distinction. Matthew Harper McLean. Shreyas Mehta. Jordan Malcon. Joshua Mellon. Peter Mellon. Fernando Mendez. Eric Men. Martha Mayes. Andrew James Miller with highest distinction. Gregory Thomas Tobit Miller. Magdalene May Mistel. Aditi Mittal. Benjamin Moll. Joseph Aaron Motiglioni. Margaret Claire Moran. Daniela Terra Mosa. Rory Murphy. Andrew Gibson Myers. Daniel Nasto. Darren Neitzel. Jeffrey Nickerson. Jeffrey Nitz with highest distinction. Luke Namura. Michael Nowak. Meg Nunn. Kiera Tara O'Brien. Stephanie Campbell O'Brien. John J. O'Toole III. Taylor Otis. Jason Oberg. Theodore Offner. Alexander Philip Oliver. Siun Michael Pan. Michael L. Parsley. Michael Perry. David Penaros. Joseph Powers. Federico Queirolo. Carolina Quiros de la Fontes. Mike Radu. Natalia Radu. Erica Randolph. Pedro Durado Ranieri. Adam David Ranson. Eric Retiola. Christine Elizabeth Rennie. Nicholas Richardson with high distinction. Ralph A. Riedel, Jr. Boria Riviero. Manuela Rodriguez. Elizabeth Eleanor Ryder. Alberto Sanbria Ojeda. Hemali Singani. Emil H. Santos. Mandakini Surup. Samer Paul B. Sayi. Nicholas Joseph Scarkelli. Aaron Swartz. Suko Su. Jessica Marie Seymour. Ari Shahnan. Jake Shapiro. Summer Indahir Surma. Almon Sibley. Daniel Shim. Craig Silverman. Jared Michael Small. Dana Spalding. Rishi K. Sutadar. Yuto Tego. Jed Daniel Telvecchia. Nancy Tam. Julia Tornell. Sam Thacker. Daniela Theones Mayer. Rachel Claire Tybolt. Shin Tong. Elizabeth Page Torkelson. Paul Tuberville. Nathan Vandergrift. Deanna Vaughn. Diego Villalobos Zamora. Diego Vijasana. Daniel Vallone. Guy Veggie. Wei Wei Wang. Jeffrey William Wanup. Laura Ann Welch. Michael White. Eric Williams. Peter Wing. Eric J. Wynn, Jr., with highest distinction. Lindsay Michelle Wolfe. Caitlin Elizabeth Wolfe. Andrew Jones Wong. William Carl Woodburn. Matthew John Woodward. Alexander Wright. Seo Ching Wu. Shiro Yagaki. Margaret McNeil Yellett. San Min Joshua Yoon. Yen Zhong. Injet Zo. Please join me in congratulating the class of 2014.
It's now my pleasure to introduce the chairman of the Tuck Board of Overseers, Chris Williams, who will present the Overseers Medal. Chris Williams is chairman, CEO, and founder of the Williams Capital Group, LP, and the Williams Capital Management Group. He began his career with Lehman Brothers in New York, where he was senior vice president with responsibilities in debt capital markets, derivatives, and fixed income securities. Upon leaving Lehman in 1992, he formed Williams Financial Markets, a division of Jefferies & Company, which specialized in structuring debt financing for investment-grade corporate issuers. Chris has been published in 2 academic textbooks that outline the uses of financial derivatives in the capital markets. In 1994, he founded the Williams Capital Group and has since directed the firm's strategic effort in investment banking and its expansion into asset management. Both Fortune magazine and Crain's New York Business selected Chris as one of the most powerful minority business leaders in America. He serves on the board of directors for Caesars Entertainment Corporation, Cox Enterprises Incorporated, and Walmart Stores. He's the chairman of the board of overseers at the Tuck School and serves on the board of trustees at Mount Sinai Medical Center, Lincoln Center for the Performing Arts, and Teachers College at Columbia. He's also an active board member of Partnership for New York City and British American Business. Chris holds a master's degree from Tuck and a bachelor's degree in architecture from Howard University. Please welcome Chris Williams.
Good afternoon, and before I present the Overseers Medal, I'd like to add my voice to the many that are recognizing your many accomplishments and achievements over the years. We look forward to you becoming very distinguished and successful alums that look back on your time here at Tuck with alacrity, with gratitude, and hopefully you'll look back with generosity on behalf of the Development Department. I'll say that. But I would like to now present the Tuck Overseers Medal to Penny Cushman-Paquette. Penny has devoted much of her professional career to making Tuck what it is today. In short, you can say that Penny lives and breathes Tuck. In her 30 years here at Tuck, Penny has been a gifted project manager, advisor, communicator, and ambassador of the many traditions of Tuck, and making sure that the world understands not only our traditions but our culture. Her work ethic is unmatched. She gets things done in a couple of words. Tuck simply wouldn't be the same without her, and she first got to know Tuck as a student. She arrived in the summer of 1974, where she earned a bachelor's degree after her earning a bachelor's degree at Smith College. After an 8-year hiatus from Hanover, when Penny worked as human resources, when she returned to Tuck as a research associate for the legendary management professor James Bryan Quinn. Penny then directed the International University of Japan Program Office, which established and managed the English Language MBA program at IUJ. Penny's role changed again in 1995 when Paul Danos became Tuck's dean. He saw her vast range of knowledge, her capabilities, and her ability to work with so many people to accomplish so much. And he made her a special assistant. In 2008, she became Assistant Dean for Strategic Initiatives. Since 1995, Penny has worked closely with Dean Danos and the senior administration on every high-level issue that's been critical to the success here at Tuck. The strategic planning process, major renovations in all areas of the campus, and over the $70 million of new construction, the development and management of Tuck's 9 research centers and initiatives, the technology initiative that brought Tuck's computing into the 21st century, and the management of Tuck's 5 advisory boards. In addition, she's worked closely with the management of Tuck's representation in the business school rankings, so she's been largely responsible for all of that. The list goes on, and I'd like to just state a couple of comments that some of her peers in the administration and faculty have to say about her. And Sally Yeager, Assistant Dean and Director of MBA Program Office, when you need to know something about Tuck, you always ask Penny. She remembers and knows everything, but she also has an informed opinion and will always help you figure out the right thing to do and how it fits into Tuck and its history. From Bob Hansen, Senior Associate Dean and the Norman W. Martin 1925 Professor of Business Administration, she can take any project conceived by the dean or the faculty, but needing massive work to implement, and make it happen. Dean Danos agrees and puts it slightly differently. She can create a presentation for me without having much of my input. She knows exactly how I want to say something. Most of all, Penny is the kind of person a dean needs as a sounding board because she is true to her convictions. You know, Paul, I thought all those profound and clever things that you said were all your words, but I see that Penny's responsible for it as well. And Erin Tunnicliffe, Tuck 97 Executive Director of Development, she said, they say if you want something done, give it to a busy person. That's how it is with Penny. It's going to take 3 people to replace her when she retires, which I hope doesn't happen for a long time. And while we probably can't give Penny credit for this beautiful day that we have for graduation, a number of the faculty members and I, when we were putting on our robes, did some quick analysis, and we couldn't find enough data to support the fact that, or conclude that she didn't have responsibility for this, so maybe she did, we don't know. But in recognition of her indispensable, unflagging, and transformative service to Tuck, we are pleased to honor Penny Cushman-Paquette with the Overseer's Medal for 2014. First, put this on you. Is there a photo op?
Thank you.
Edward Tuck Scholars are those students who have demonstrated outstanding academic accomplishment during their 2 years at Tuck. Scholars are designated by the faculty at the end of the second year. I now will read the names of the Tuck Scholars and ask that they come forward to receive their certificates and be recognized. Please hold your applause until the names of all Tuck Scholars have been read. Recipients, after receiving your certificate, please line up in front of the lectern for a photograph. The Edward Tuck Scholars for 2014 are Kanov Abrol, Nuno Adam, Ali Bachani, Martin Bayeli, Sprague Brody, John Brunda, Clancy Cashin, Anna Cordoville, Brian Corey, Ellen Corey, Benjamin Davis, Philip Dillon, Benjamin Duell, Dennis Dunnigan, Brendan Faherty, Robert Gallagher, Joshua Gartner, Maureen Gartner, Tomoko Gotu, David Dixon Tucker Hargrove, Zachariah Hogan, Herman Shu, Tyler Hull, Peter Jacobson, Douglas London, Margaret Miranda, Brian McKenzie, Andrew Miller, Luke Marsdorp, Merrill Matthews III, Peter Mellon, Benjamin Mall, Jeffrey Nitz, John O'Toole III, Michael L. Parsley, Nicholas Richardson, Ralph Riedel Jr., Emil Santos, Craig Silberman, Rachel Tybolt, Jeffrey Wanup, Eric Wynn Jr., At this time, we award prizes honoring those graduates who have distinguished themselves through excellence in the classroom and service to the Tuck community. The Herman Fellman 1929 Memorial Prize. This prize is awarded to a member of the second-year class who has done excellent work in his program as a whole and who has displayed leadership in the field of leadership. The recipient of the Fieldman Prize is Laura Ann Welch. Well done, Laura. The Charles I. Leibowitz Memorial Award. This is a cash award given to the second-year student who has, during the first year at Tuck, made an outstanding contribution to the daily life of the school. The recipient of the Leibowitz Award is Alice Lynn. The Lillian and Charles Leach Prize for Excellence in Finance. This is a cash prize awarded to a graduating student who has shown excellence in the academic area of finance. The recipient of the Leach Award is Merrill Matthews. The next 3 awards acknowledge the accomplishments of one member of the class of 2014. I will read a description of each award and then ask the student to come up and be recognized. The James A. and Sabra M. Hamilton Award in Administration. A desk set is awarded to that member of the second-year class who, through personal qualifications and accomplishments in courses in the fields of business policy and organizational behavior, shows the greatest attributes of a capable administrator. The Lieutenant Walter A. Jacobs Memorial Award. A substantial collection of books of the recipient's choice is awarded during the first year to a student who has demonstrated intellectual ability and curiosity, sound judgment in academic work and activities outside the classroom, and personal habits and conduct which inspire confidence and enthusiasm. The Darrow Saunders Award. This cash award is presented to a graduating student who, through both personal qualities and accomplishments in management communications courses, demonstrates outstanding ability to communicate effectively as a manager. The recipient of the James A. and Sabra M. Hamilton Award in Administration, the Lieutenant Walter A. Jacobs Memorial Award, and the Darrow Sanders Award is Andrew James Miller. Well done, Andrew. The Tuck Centennial Student Award. This award is given to a first-year and a second-year student who exemplify the spirit and character of the Tuck School. Chosen by their classmates, recipients embody outstanding leadership, selflessness in everyday actions, extensive involvement in the Tuck and Upper Valley communities, and a firm commitment to the traditions and principles of the school. The second-year recipient of the Centennial Award is Jeffrey William Wanup. The Julia Stell Award. A certificate is given to those students who have made a substantial contribution to the Tuck community through their leadership in school programs and functions and for their extraordinary efforts to help fellow students, especially in scholastic efforts. This prestigious award is named for the wife of Edward Tuck and co-founder of the Tuck School, Julia Stell. Please hold your applause until all of the recipients' names are called. Recipients should please line up for a photograph. The recipients of the Julia Stell Award are Solomon Ashford, Ali Bachani, Sarah Bell, Christopher Dolan, Maureen Teresa Gartner, Tyler Yule Grant, Juliet Horton, Catherine Brooks Lawrence, Alice Lynn, Megan Lodelo, Gabrielle J. Martinez, Andrew James Miller, Benjamin Moll, Jeffrey Nickerson, Stephanie Campbell O'Brien, Michael L. Posley, Mandakini Surup, Samuel Paul B. Sayi, Yuto Tego, Eric J. Wynn, Jr. Congratulations to the Julia Stell Award winners.
I'm pleased to introduce the 2014 class president, Chris Dolan. As president, Chris has served as chair of the student board, liaison to the administration, and representative to the more than 500 first and second year students at Tuck. Over the past 2 years, Chris has aimed to uphold Tuck's inclusive culture and strong sense of community. Prior to Tuck, Chris worked as an innovation consultant at Creative Realities. Chris holds a bachelor's degree in sociology from Tufts. After graduation, Chris will be heading to Minneapolis to work in brand management at General Mills. Please welcome Chris Dolan.
Thank you, Dean Danos. Now that we have the hoods on, I feel like we're almost on a first-name basis, but I can't quite bring myself to do it yet. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the entire class of 2014, let me say what an honor and a privilege it is to be graduating today from the Tuck School of Business. Today marks the end of what has been a whirlwind 2 years, which have enriched and transformed each and every one of us. The journey to get here has been fun, rewarding, and at times challenging. So while we, the class of 2014, are all very proud of the hard work and individual achievement it took to get here today, we also know that we would not have made it without the help of everyone here. So we'd like to take a moment to thank all of the professors, deans, staff, alumni, family members, significant others, study group teammates, friends, and classmates who not only put up with us for the last 2 years, but helped us get here. Thank you all. The class of 2014 would like to present Tuck with a gift to express our gratitude for our time here. In selecting a gift, we wanted a gift that would benefit future Tuck students, represent something meaningful for the majority of our class, and make a significant impact. We voted to put our gift toward a student scholarship fund initially created 10 years ago by the class of 2004 in Sally Yeager's name. For those of you who don't know, Sally is Assistant Dean and Director of the MBAPO. In her official role as Dean, Sally has helped mold our entire academic and extracurricular experience here. She is also the unofficial den mother to all Tuck students. In this role, she has guided us through Tuck from orientation to disorientation, fielded our questions, listened to our concerns, provided a shoulder to cry on, in some cases literally, given us pep talks, talked sense into us, or even participated in our comedy skits, and generally been the rock of the Tuck community. Sally, if you could just come up here for a second. We don't have a physical gift or medal to give you, But in lieu of that, on behalf of the entire class of 2014, I'd like to give you a big hug. By choosing this gift, not only do we honor an administrator who has been central to all of our experiences, we also create a connection to the class of 2004 that came before us and provide direct support to future Tuck students who will come after us. And the class really rallied behind this gift. With donations still rolling in this morning, we raised over $31,000. This represents one of the largest gifts in class gifts in Tuck history. But perhaps even more significantly, we achieved this thanks, and again, as of this morning, to 100% participation from the class. You don't have to be a Tuck scholar, and you may have noticed I wasn't, to know that 100% is pretty good. I'd like to especially thank the class gift committee and all the fundraising captains. Thank you for all your hard work. To the entire class, each and every one of you, thank you for giving, and sorry for all those emails. The amount that we raised is enough to push the scholarship fund to the level of endowment, where it can now start providing scholarships to incoming students. In addition, thanks to a generous challenge grant and our participation rate, our campaign generated an additional $55,000 to go towards the Tuck Community Fund. So all told, our efforts helped bring in about $86,000 for Tuck. And so, on behalf of the class of 2014, we present the Sally Yeager Scholarship Fund, supported by the classes of 2004 and 2014, as our gift to express our gratitude for our time here. And now we are all in for a real treat. Each year, the graduating class elects a graduation speaker, and among a class of many strong speakers, we selected a truly outstanding one, Cassandra Cummings. After graduating from Harvard University with a degree in English and American literature and language and a citation in Spanish language, Cassandra moved to Oakland, California, and worked across the bridge in San Francisco at an educational publishing company. When she wasn't editing books, she served as a mentor to at-risk youth through the Oakland YMCA, was the president of her local Toastmasters club, and went fishing and camping with her family. While at Tuck, Cassandra organized and performed in Tuck's annual Frosty Jester comedy show and served as a student liaison for Tuck's Consortium for Graduate Studies in Management. Cassandra is moving to Chicago after graduation to work in a brand management role at Kraft Foods and is excited to sample the many varieties of Chicago-style deep dish pizza. She is a terrific storyteller, and we are all very fortunate to have the opportunity to hear her speak today. It is my pleasure to introduce the class of 2014 graduation speaker, Cassandra Cummings.
Thank you so much, Chris, for the lovely introduction, and good afternoon, everyone. I am so happy to see everyone's shining faces today. Excuse me, I'm just getting my effects in order. I've got a lot of stuff here. So, it's also been an absolute pleasure to meet everyone's parents today, because now I see where we get all of our good looks from. I mean, with parents like these, it was inevitable that we turn out to be so charming. Parents, thank you. Thank you so much for your good genes. But more than that, thank you, friends and family, for coming to celebrate this special moment with us. We truly do appreciate it. I'd also like to take a moment to thank everyone tuning in on the live stream, including my 89-year-old grandmother in California. Up until yesterday, she kept telling me, baby, I really, really want to get on the plane to come see you graduate, but I don't think these bones are going to let me get there. So with that said, can you all do me a favor? Small one? Okay. Grandma just turned 89 a few days ago. So on the count of 3, everyone shout, "Happy birthday, Grandma!" Just like that. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Grandma! Thanks so much. I'm sure that put a smile on her face. You know, over the past 2 years, I've been keeping her up to date on the goings-ons at the Tuck School of Business. She doesn't quite understand her fascination with Pong, but she'd really, really like to come to one of our classy wine nights the next time we have one. So class of 2014, we came to Tuck 2 years ago with soft but ready hands and open but capable minds, ready to build something great. Each of us ready to play a part in building a magnificent edifice. Sally gave us the tools and sent us on our way. Now, to be clear, she also gave us some guidelines. Sally runs a tight ship here at the Tuck School of Business. You can't just run all willy-nilly up and through here. We sit in our caps and gowns today, marveling at our creation, with hands a bit more callous and minds a lot more sharp than they were when we laid our first few stones. A bell is ringing to signal to us that our creation is complete. And with each gong of the bell, we feel a ball in our stomachs vibrate. It vibrates because in this single moment, we feel 1,000,001 different ways all at once. Part of us is elated to have made it this far. Another part of us is excited about the opportunities that await us. And of course, part of us is sad, melancholy that in a short while, we'll have to say goodbye to one another. I, for one, am going to miss each and every one of you. Yes, even the person who kept stealing my milk from the Wit kitchen. I will miss you too. As that ball vibrates deep in our stomachs, I want us to feel proud. Proud of this thing we built. Now, I keep referring to this thing, but what exactly is it? When writing this speech, I had some difficulty figuring that out, so naturally I went to Google. Google gave me images of palaces and castles, and though what we built is indeed majestic, that just didn't do us justice. And then I saw an image of a tower. Tall, mighty, and distinct. And I said, that's us, because when you see a tower, much like when you see the class of 2014, you stop and you take notice. Am I right? Whether in a business suit or yoga pants, you stop and take notice. So, how exactly did we build this tower that stands for our community, our hard work, our dedication? To be sure, we built it with fervor, humility, intelligence, and grace. And while this was our first time building towers, we had nothing to worry about. Because the Tuck Spirit, that Tuck Spirit we know all too well, she was there to guide our steps all along the way. And she was always there when you needed her. There may have been a time that you had your heart broken. Perhaps it was the capital markets midterm. I know it broke mine. Or maybe that girl or guy in section, you found out they weren't quite feeling you the same way you were feeling them. Whatever it was that broke your heart, the Tuck Spirit, she showed up right on time to caress it, and she showed you that the way to get through setbacks is to keep on building. She encouraged us to build with generosity. Those times that Yoshi and Phil stayed up helping folks with their stats homework over Skype when all they wanted to do was sleep, that was the Tuck Spirit. Phil just helped me put on my cap because I really couldn't figure it out a few minutes ago. All of those hours spent helping Tuckies with mock case interviews, career crises, career celebrations, that was the Tuck Spirit. And that time, we sent out a search party to find Salo Gamero when he got lost in Montreal. Of course, that too was the Tuck Spirit. She's a spirit of adventure, inspiring us to stretch and build to unimaginable heights. She took us on epic learning expeditions to Brazil and Israel. She took us on TGC trips to Kenya and Ethiopia and traveled with us on spring break through Alaska and Nigeria. Remember my grandmother asking me, "Are you sure you're in school?" Because every time I talk to you, you're in a different place. She hasn't met Adriana yet. As we worked our fingers to the bone building this tower, she consistently reminded us to stop and celebrate our progress along the way. Because, of course, she's a spirit of revelry. She was there for Winter Carnival. She was there for those massive dance parties in Cohen, and she was there for those epic pong tournaments that kept Paolo Cochesi up all night long. She made sure the snow was just right when you skied the slopes in Killington. You could hear her in Mary Carmen's voice and in Josh Fang's guitar when the Tuck band played. You could see her moving through Sasha Kaplan and Caitlin Hodge as they danced at Tuck Follies. And you could see her flying as Mark DeVoot's hockey pucks whizzed past your head. All of these memories are immortalized in our great tower. And though the building is complete, know that she will never leave us. When the world knocks you down, think of those times that she caressed your broken heart. When you score that big promotion at work and want to celebrate, think of those nights you danced until your feet hurt in Cohen. And if ever you feel like she's abandoned you and left you to build on your own, all you have to do is crack open a can of Keystone Light and smile. She'll remind you that she's there. You'll notice that the stones in our tower, they're not all uniform, and they weren't meant to be. And that's because each and every one of us students took our own stone and infused it with a special magic that touched everyone else's lives. For instance, we all have a deep appreciation for the art of the pun, thanks to Andrew Miller. We're all feeling a bit more empowered to stand up for what we feel is right, thanks to folks like Mo Gartner and Steph O'Brien. We're all feeling emboldened to follow our entrepreneurial dreams, thanks to Sam Alexander, Eric Quinn, Yuto Tago, among countless others. And I'd be remiss, absolutely remiss, if I didn't give an extra special thanks to Mr. Tyler Grant, because I don't think I'll ever be able to watch another Batman movie the same way again. I'd also like to thank all of the partners in our community, both near and far. Please stand now so that we can properly thank you. You all have given so much to your partners and to this community. You supported us when we had to stay up late and wake up early. When we felt that our backs might buckle under the pressure of these heavy stones, you encouraged us to keep going in ways unimaginable. As Tuck students laid the stones of this great tower, you imbued it with stability and you colored it with love. Thank you again. A few of the speakers before me mentioned that Tuck is a transformative place, and indeed it is. I only have to think of the Gartners, Alice Singh, Michael Pan, Harrison Kahn. They became parents when they were here. Then I also think of myself. Now, I didn't become a parent, mom and dad, don't worry. But I was nonetheless transformed. As Chris mentioned in his introduction of me, I worked in publishing for several years before I came to Tuck. And I was the perfect picture of an editor. Thick-rimmed glasses, I still have them, everyone. Brown cardigan, sitting day in and day out amongst my sea of books. But despite looking the part, deep down I wanted to be a marketer. But I was too afraid that if anyone gave me a shot on a big brand, I'd fall flat on my face. I was convinced that I was missing some special skill, some special something, some special element that everyone else had, but I didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so thankful for Tuck. Because the finest lesson that this institution taught me was that I had that special something within me all this time. The Tuck spirit knew that, and that's why she called me here. She knew that I had to come here and work on building this thing because it was in the building and in the carrying of these heavy stones that our professors, our administrators, and you, my esteemed and ever so talented colleagues, opened up my eyes to my own special something, encouraged me to go out and finally use it. So as melancholy as we may feel in this moment right now, this time had to come. Our time here had to close so that you can go on and continue your journey. So that you can go on and attain the greatness that you have been destined to have ever since you were a glimmer in your mom and dad's eyes. We are all talented carpenters, sculptors, weldsmen, blacksmiths now. It's time for us to build in other places. The recent passing of Maya Angelou led me to a poem that she wrote called On the Pulse of the Morning, and I'd like to share a few of those words with you right now. Give birth again to the dream. Take it into the palms of your hands. Mold it into the shape of your most private need. Sculpt it into the image of your most public self. Lift up your hearts. Each new hour holds new chances for new beginnings. Class of 2014, my greatest hope in this single moment is that we continue to dream big, that we take these newly calloused hands and ever sharper minds and build those dreams. We will dream of bridges, structures to keep us connected spiritually, even though physically we may be far apart. We will dream of beacons, structures to light the pathways for the Tuckies that come behind us. And of course, we will dream of towers. Towers of magnificence, just like the one we built here together at Tuck. And when the bell rings to let you know that your building is complete, remember to crack open a can of Keystone Light and smile. Thank you so much, class of 2014. I'm going to miss you all. Oh, goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Cassandra, for those wonderful words. And Chris, that 100% class participation is a number we dearly love. So I think you have a future in our Tuck annual giving. We'll be in touch soon. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Professor Colin Bladen, who's Tuck Dean Emeritus, and who will read the Edward Tuck letter. Please welcome Professor Bladen.
From the letter of Edward Tuck to President Tucker, his Dartmouth College roommate, on October 12, 1904, reflecting the language of its time and place. In the conduct of the school to which you have done my father's memory, the honor of attesting his name, I trust that certain elementary but vital principles on which he greatly dwelt in his advice to young men, and in today's day and age, young women, whether entering upon a professional or business career, may not be lost sight of in the variety of technical subjects of which the regular curriculum is composed. Briefly, these principles or maxims are absolute devotion to the career which one selects and to the interests of one's superior officers or employers, the desire and determination to do more rather than less than one's required duties, perfect accuracy and promptness in all undertakings, and absence from one's vocabulary of the word forget. Never to vary a hair's breadth from the truth nor from the path of strictest honesty and honor, with perfect confidence in the wisdom of doing right as the surest means of achieving success. To the maxim that honesty is the best policy should be added another, that altruism is the highest and best form of egoism, as a principle of conduct to be followed by those who strive for success and happiness in public life or business relations, as well as those of private life.
Thank you, Colin. And it's really special because Colin is probably the only person who actually knew Edward Tuck. So. The investiture ceremony will conclude with the recessional of the faculty and graduates, and we conclude the ceremony. I'd like to invite you all to join the class of 2014, the faculty of the Tuck School and administrators, at a reception for the graduates in the Southwell courtyard. Farewell, students, and return to Tuck often.